Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
The Airmen for Life program, spearheaded by the U.S. Air Force, recently held a mission at Nellis Air Force Base that aims to offer all involved the opportunity to gain professional and personal development skills both on and off duty in an impactful manner. The program's vision is to create a space where airmen can connect, learn valuable skills, and find moments to reset. Now joining our newscast this evening are Creech Airmen from the 432D Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, who took part in the latest Airmen for Life edition right here in Nevada.
Airmen for Life is a great way for airmen to learn some foundational competencies that are going to benefit them both in the Air Force and out of the Air Force. It can be anything from finance to car maintenance to home buying, anything like that. I was part of the first team here at Creech Air Force Base that did it, and I was able to learn a lot about finance that I didn't know. I'm from a small town in Indiana and I did not have money growing up, so it was a lot of stuff that was very useful to me.
The three pillars of the Airmen for Life program are resiliency, professional development, and team building.
I came from Luke Air Force Base before this, and that's where I found out about Airmen for Life. We would meet up about every 4 weeks. The reason I wanted to bring it here is because a lot of the things that I heard people kind of grumbling about, I felt like Airmen for Life could really change and help with. So far, we've done 3 weeks now, and so far it's been a really positive feedback.
The Airmen for Life program describes itself as vying to create a lasting impact on airmen's lives, extending far beyond his or her time in uniform.
The goal of this program is to make better airmen, not the typical things you would do during a training day, such as CBTs or hands-on maintenance, but we want this out of the unit and we want to focus on the members. How do we make them better airmen, better people? If you can imagine asking a flight chief or a flight commander, I'm going to need 10% of your members to be off on a Friday. It was pretty challenging, but once we got the buy-in, the first 5 weeks or so since we've started this, it's been really good. We've had some really good feedback from the members.
The Progressive Initiative ensures that skills acquired are not just applicable to military duties, but also to life after service.
Right now, since the program's really new, like I said, only 3 weeks have gone, we're trying to keep it a little bit more structured. And structure in the way of just trying to do the class portion the same every time, the physical activity portion every time, and then having some ideas that the airmen bring to us. I see as this program grows and develops, it's going to be very fluid instead of being such a guided event that it is right now.
The commute up to Creech is no joke. 2 hours of driving every day isn't fun, so getting to go down the road from your house versus an hour away for a briefing is already a time saver. And on top of that, you get to have fun and do an activity and learn something that's going to help you.
The Airmen for Life program is meant to empower airmen to thrive regardless of their career path, according to the U.S. Air Force. Now throwing it back to our sunny studios in Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25 Las Vegas.